Today we're going to be talking about order of operations. Order of operations are the order in which we solve any equation. To remember this order, we're going to use an acronym called PEMDAS, which is going to be P-E-M-D-A-S. So what does PEMDAS stand for? The P in PEMDAS stands for parentheses. Parentheses are any kind of grouping. So if it's parentheses, brackets, absolute value, any of these, we're always going to do what's inside of them first. So if the equation was 3 plus 2 plus 3, we're always going to do this first because this is in the parentheses. Next is exponents. Exponents are all of those squared, cubed, so if it's like x squared or y cubed, these are the exponents. This is going to be our second step. We're always going to do the second. After looking for parentheses, we're going to go and look to see if there's any exponents that need to be solved. So if it said 2 plus 2 squared, we're going to do this first. Okay, then we're going to move to multiplication and division. So multiplication and division, even if it says PEMDAS, it's supposed to be MD, they are equal. So we aren't going to, that's why I have this arrow here. We're always going to move from left to right. So if division is before multiplication from left to right, then we're going to do division first. So they are equal. So if this is the first step, this is the second step, they're both going to be the third step. So if the equation said 2y divided by 3 times 2, we're going to do this first because division comes before multiplication when we're moving from left to right. Same thing, if multiplication comes before division, we're going to do that first. So if it said 3 times 2 divided by 2y, we're going to do this first because multiplication is first on the left to right, not because it's first when we say PEMDAS. The same thing applies with the next step, which is going to be addition and subtraction. When it comes to addition and subtraction, it works very similarly to multiplication and division, which we're going to say if subtraction comes before addition when we're going from left to right, we're going to do it first. If the equation was like 3 minus 4 plus 2, because subtraction comes first, we're going to do this first. Okay? And the same thing applies vice versa. So if it's 4 plus 2 minus 3, we're going to do this first because it comes first when we're going from left to right. So that's how those two work. Now let's try it in a problem. So we have an equation here and we're going to make sure we use our PEMDAS. So first is parentheses. Now we have a parentheses here, so we're going to make sure that we do this first. In our parentheses says 3 plus 4 divided by 2. Now we're going to treat this like another equation. So now we have to look back at the PEMDAS and do it inside the parentheses. Next step is exponents, but there are no exponents as you can see in the equation. So we're going to skip that step. Then we're going to go to multiplication division. So when we're going from left to right, do we see any multiplication or division? We do see one division. So we're going to do this before we do the other step. So it's going to become 3 plus 4 divided by 2 is 2. So it's going to be 3 plus 2. Now that multiplication division is complete, we're going to move to addition subtraction. So addition and subtraction. There's only one addition right here, so we're going to just do that. 3 plus 2 is 5. So now that there's only one number in the parentheses, we can take it out of the parentheses and put it back into the equation. So this is going to be now 5 plus 2 squared times 3 minus 5 equals what? So now we're going to go back to the PEMDAS and do this again. Now that we've finished parentheses, we're going to go to exponents. There is one exponent, so we want to make sure we do this. So now it's going to become 5 plus 4, 2 squared is 4, times 3 minus 5, which we're going to ask what that is. Now, exponents are done. Then we're going to do multiplication division. There is one multiplication here, so we're going to do this step first. Now it's going to become 5 plus 4 times 3 is 12 minus 5 equals what? Now the multiplication and division is done. We're going to go to addition, subtraction. Now in addition and subtraction, we can see there is addition and subtraction. But remember, we always work left to right. So what is next? We have to do addition first because it is first in the left to right pattern. So 5 plus 12 is 17 minus 5, which will equal what? So and then lastly, we only have 17 minus 5 left. So it's going to be 12. So 12 is our final answer.